Alright, this is your new tank. Pissed off about the TFV8, you might want to consider an RDTA or an RDA. So I'm doing this for a lot of people. I'm going to throw in some coils and stuff, but this is going out to Edson, Alberta for my buddy Adam. So see how I can do on camera here. Let's, my geez. So these are all the parts and pieces. It just looks more intimidating than it really is. I've already got these coils all ready to go. Where the hell is the camera? There we go. And these are a 26 gauge, 40 gauge fuse Clapton. They'll be good for clouds and for flavor production. I go post to post. You'll see it when you get it there, and I'll lift it up to the camera once I get it all installed. But put the first set in, clip it off. And of course, Adam, I don't expect you to learn how to do this right away. I got you covered for a bit. Colton's gonna deliver this to you, so he can always help you out too. Colton's my man on the ground out in Alberta. He's gonna be coming by to see some shops and stuff here in the next little bit. So. Cameraman Troy up here on the helm. Once you get the first one installed, the second one will just slip right in there because we pre-trimmed those legs.
Keep it right there.
I went with the RDTA for you, Adam, because it'll hold a little bit of a juice reservoir. So even if you are road tripping, I think this one holds 4 mils underneath. So it's a good way to get started. You get the benefits of a of an RDA with the convenience of a tank. So, and it's fairly easy to wick. Holds lots of juice. So once you get them all situated nice and straight in the posts, and it's time to start firing them up. So this is going to be the same thing when you want to re-wick too. A little bit different, not quite as finicky. Just pulse it low and slow. We're at 0.13 right now. It is stainless steel, so it'll come up a little bit. So on your device, turn it down to say 20 or 30 watts, and then just pulse it slowly. Just kind of press your button. Hey Zach, what's going on? We got a video going on. There's always something happening around here. Just pulse, pulse, pulse until you start to see everything start to warm up a little bit. Of course, if you don't have ceramic tweezers, you're using regular pliers or whatever, you're not going to want to pulse at the same time that you're squeezing the coils or playing with them. You can just pulse it, get them heated up, and then come over here and kind of squeeze things together and play around with it, and then come back and pulse again. Benefits of having the right tools for the job. But hey, of course it gets busy as soon as I start making a video. Of course. See you, Zach. Oh, thanks, man. Kind of just play around with those coils, make sure that your leads are all nice and tight. Tighten everything up once or twice. You can do this when you're checking or re-wicking too. Just get a screwdriver in there, make sure all your posts are nice and tight, and then come back here and start pulsing it again. What you're looking for is you're looking for both of these coils to be warming up evenly at the same time from the inside out. Right now, this one's warming up a little faster, so I'm just gonna kind of squeeze that, play around with it a little bit, come around, play with the other one, trying to stay on in the frame here, but this one's still warming up a little faster. I'll play around with both of them until we get some evenness. Get rid of the hot spots. See how it's heating up a little quicker there than it is over here? Just take a little screwdriver while you're not pulsing it, kind of just lightly strum it like you'd strum a guitar string. and then come back at it and give it another squeeze and fire it up a little bit. 20 or 30 watts should be enough. You might have to pulse it a little bit longer, but you don't want to take one of those hot spots and let it get carried away. So if it gets carried away, one of these coils is going to melt. So when you're re-wicking, you'll pull your cotton out and you'll pulse it the same way, and then you might want to just give it a douse in the water like this. You're going to have a little cup or whatever sitting around. You got it, Troy?
Yep.
And just dip them in there. You're going to watch all the carbon flash off of there until they look nice and shiny and new. I like to do that with new coils too. It's kind of one of the new things that I started doing, because I watch all of the kind of, I don't know if it's from production or what it is, but the coils kind of have a little bit of dirtiness. Maybe they oxidize right off the hop. I don't know what it is, but it cleans them up a little bit. You got to burn off all that water again. Play around with them a little bit. This one's glowing good. This one's being a shithead. Looks like maybe one of my legs is a little bit longer than the other one. It might be causing an issue. But let's see. There we go. It's starting to come around. There, that's looking pretty dandy now. So everything's glowing from the inside out. It's all nice and even. Let them cool down a little bit. Cut some cotton. So this is something that people struggle with until they've done it a few times. So don't feel bad if you're getting dry hits or whatever. But the inside diameter of these coils in particular are 3 millimeter diameter. So I'm going to cut about 6 millimeters of this cotton. I like to go about double. This is just your cogen dough. It's not treated, it's not bleached, just nice and organic. Cut a couple of strips.
Where can you pick this stuff up?
I can send you some of this stuff from Blue Vapes, or you could probably get it from your local vape shop around you, but everybody tries to sell you a different type of cotton, and this is like the less expensive stuff. It works really well. So what I'm doing here is it kind of has a machined edge or a machined layer on both sides of the cotton. I just kind of pick at it with my fingernail and peel it away, and then you're left with nice fluffy cotton. So I'll do that with both of these strips, got one for each coil. Peel that away. Yeah, for $3 you get 4 pads of cotton and 4 pads. This is a whole pad. I just cut a couple of things out. You should be able to re-wick lots of times. So next up, kind of just twist it up on one end. Feed it through your coil. Pull it through gently without pulling those coils out of place or pulling them all around. And I just kind of feed them back and forth a little bit like that. Fluffs up inside. Pull away any of these extra little flyaways. Now everybody will tell you something different. You might see 100 different videos with 100 different people doing it 100 different ways. There's no right way or wrong way, really. It's the way that works best for you. So this is what's been working fairly well for me, and this is usually what I show all my customers. This is how I show all my customers how to re-wick. In particular, in RDTA, with the big juice reservoir down here, it's a little bit different. Some people like to cut it off real short and have to tip their RDA every time that they take a vape. Well, I'm a little more lazy than that, and I want to make sure that I get a good hit every time. So I kind of just move the wicks down, kind of close to the bottom, make a little bit of a mark on there, pull that back and clip it on that line. And then you can kind of just line up both cotton pads, both tails. Cut it the same. Do the same thing on the other side. Take something pokey or sharp and just kind of comb it out. Thin it out just a little bit. Make sure that all those fibers are going the same direction. I often use the analogy, like a garden hose analogy. If you were to take this cotton and kink it over hard like this, the juice would have to make that corner. And just like a garden hose, if you were to kink it over, you're not going to get good flow out of it. So you want all your lines to be nice and straight. For all you car guys or whatever, exhaust. Straight of the exhaust, less bends and stuff, the better horsepower, more airflow you're going to get, right? So make sure that everything's nice and straight, fluffed up, and you can kind of just tuck it. There's little detents in here. I'm going to just kind of tuck it in there a little bit. However you got to do it. Some guys will take juice and paint it in there. I'm sending it to you, Adam, so we'll let you do that. And you're just going to take your little ring here. It's going to slip down over top. Make sure you got it facing the right way. And then just try and make sure, I don't know, maybe we'll put the glass in there too. So we'll slip the glass over. Make sure there's no cotton in the O-rings or it will leak. Just going to rotate that glass in there. And then stick this ring on. Kind of just tuck the cotton away from the threads a little bit if you can, just so that it doesn't catch and pull that cotton and pull your coils around. And just gently thread it in there. If it's not going, back it up, move your cotton around and stuff. There's a juice port here. That's how you're gonna fill your RDTA here. Just kind of stop it in a good position, somewhere in between maybe. I'm just gonna back it up a little bit so that it's in between these two posts right here, so that when you drip your juice, it's not gonna be impeded by any of the cotton. So then you get something pokey again, get in this hole, kind of push the cotton out of the way. You can come in from the top, kind of push that cotton out of the way. All we're doing is making some room for juice, so that when you go to fill this thing up through that port, the juice isn't going to get stopped up by the cotton. Now the other thing that I've found has worked really well for a lot of my customers is just kind of getting in the backside here and making a little air port, air hole, so that the air can get in and the juice can wick up. Simply the rest here. This is your airflow control ring. A little bit of juice on there and it'll get a lot more loose. I might even take a little VG and get it on there, but these air holes need to line up with your coils. So same on both sides. As you rotate this thing, you can pinch off the airflow. The more airflow you pinch off, the warmer the vape is going to become and the more flavor you should get out of it. The more you open it up, the more airflow you introduce, the cooler the vape and the bigger the cloud you'll get. So I'm going to get a little VG on this guy. Yeah, just throw a little juice on there. Adam's not going to mind, I don't think. If he does, well, you know, he can go and pound sand. There we go. So that airflow's in there. And as you rotate it, I promise, more juice in there, a couple of uses, you'll be able to rotate that. Grab your drip tip, toss your drip tip in there. This is a Goon drip tip. It's a stabilized wood one. I kind of like these ones, they're nice. That's it. That's kind of your tutorial for installing some coils, re-wicking, of course with fresh build, fresh O-rings, everything's nice and clean, everything's really tight. Getting some juice on there is really going to help everything kind of slide around. I know he wants the girl next door. It's probably what's going to end up in here anyways, so put a little bit on the O-rings, rotate it around, get everything juiced up. Oh, turn on the juice. There we go. Make sure that your airflow is lined up with the coils, and away you go. All right, folks, I'll do some more. I'll get better at this too. Have a good one. Blue Crew.